Yay!
What's up, everybody?
Another week, another show, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
I know what's up. My shoulder hurts.
Your mild-mannered podcasters have triumphantly returned from the siege of Farleycon yesterday, right?
It actually wasn't that bad.
It wasn't a siege. No, everybody ate and had a good time. So.
Yeah, we did. Especially the women that was with us.
Yeah.
They enjoyed everything they saw.
They did. Absolutely did. That's just because they were paying very close attention to us. So
I thought it was Spider-Man.
It was not. No, I think they were deliberately not paying attention to Spider-Man. Yeah, we had a 40-something wandering around in a true leotard, a Spider-Man leotard.
Battle damage leotard.
It was battle damage too. Yeah. I don't know what.
Really battle damage.
I had a good time. I left with 2 kids and come back with 1, so I only lost 50%. Enjoyed it. Had a good, even had a good day today up until I stopped and got gas and started leaving Walmart and got rear-ended on my way out of the parking lot.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I kid you not.
Bash up the shelf.
By my wife.
Didn't do no damage, but
oh, that's good.
Don't ever get in front of May or she'll run over you.
Oh, geez. Well, there you go. The rest of the story.
Now we got something good on her to aggravate her about for a while now.
Nice. Sorry to hear that, Mel. That's yeah, but you guys all need therapy for completely separate reasons than anything that was going on yesterday. That's for sure. Most of you have been with us more than a year and a half, so you can't blame that show yesterday on why you need therapy.
Right.
Let's get real. And I'm being serious about us too. That I drive me nuts. I can't imagine. I don't know what my wife's been doing for the last 30 years, but I sleep with one eye open. I know that. So, anyways,
we all do.
I nearly got punched one night.
Anyways, yes, Emmeett scared his Mima the other night, and he about got the crap knocked out of him. So,
I show up in the middle of the night saying, "Where are the remotes?" Where are the remotes? And it's pitch black. She can't see me, so she freaks out because there's just a dark, shadowy figure asking, "Where are the remotes?"
And then it's good night, Emmeett.
It was just about good night, Emmeett. Yeah, it was about night time for Emmeett. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, when he woke up, she realized it was me, and then he realized.
Okay, that's enough stories for now.
Good.
So, anyways, we have a collector with us tonight who is prolific in the group, to say the least. He's been on there what 10 months? 10 months. 11 months.
I remember 10 months, sir.
Posts, geez, I gotta say, Sylvester posts just about every day. It's got to be about every day, isn't it? So with
very much appreciated.
Yeah, and it's all information. He shows off his finds, but there's nothing wrong with that either. But there's a lot of information for those of us in this same area. So let's get him plugged in and see what's going on with his stuff.
Plug in.
Hey, Sylvester.
Hey.
Good to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with your pictures, and we'll talk about them. And you see tonight, it's Sylvester. Tell me how you say your last name again.
It's Echols. Echo with the LS.
Okay, Echo with the LS. Got you, buddy.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
That's fine.
Go ahead, Shane. Go. Give me a minute here.
Got him. If you want to just tell us about the picture you're seeing, Sylvester.
Well, it first started off with I changed it up a little bit. I think that's the most recent one I have right there. So I used to have like a little story going on. So it first started off with just Iron Man back there, Sentry, this Centurion or whatever you call it, Iron Man, the red and silver, and I had him going versus Xanatos. So I figured it'd be kind of cool to have Tony Stark versus Xanatos in their armor suits against each other, especially that suit since it matches his. It's red and silver, and Xanatos has a red and dark charcoal gray type deal. Figured that was a cool thing to do, and then I just threw Riri Williams in there, the thief, as just to throw her in there because I was not doing anything with her. She was just in the box. I'm like, let me just do something with her. So I figured I'd throw her in there, and then I just added stuff around that. So in the other picture, I had like Leonardo, the mech Leonardo.
I like that.
No, not that one.
I like that.
That's a different one.
Okay.
But it's the same picture, same setting. It's just a different picture where I had Leonardo, and so that's where I had Indiana Jones back there, and his father, Mr. Henry Jones, and I have also Marion back there as well. And I just basically had Indiana Jones looking at artifacts, the artifacts that it came with, and also the Infinity Gauntlet. When I finally got Rescue, who was actually behind the what's that dude's name? The Rocketeer. And that Rocketeer is actually the Tuskegee Airman version from the sequel that they're doing.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So I was happy to find him. I was like, oh, cool, let me do that.
Yeah, that's
now
pretty
that
cool.
one, that's I was just having some fun there. So I just recently built Johnny 5.
Oh, cool.
And then I was happy to get Captain Carrot, and I just basically just did something comical with him by having his finger up Shazam's nose. and those are my movie buckets behind. So I was just doing some fun with that, just putting them in different places.
Yeah, cool.
I got a quick question on the first picture. How did you have Spider-Man up on the wall up there?
Yeah, so that is it's a knockoff. I know it is because the face is ridiculous because of Tom Holland. That's Tom Holland Spider-Man. So that particular one comes with magnets for hands.
Oh, okay.
So I just changed the hands out, and also on his feet he has magnets, and so that wall is metal. So.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything like wire or cable or anything. I'm like, ooh. Okay.
Nah, yeah. So that worked out pretty well too. I was like, oh, let me do something with this Spider-Man. I'm not doing anything with him. He's in the box. I know his face is messed up, but I'll just put the mask on and he's fine. And then I just utilize that.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of those knockoffs floating around places now.
Yeah, that photo, I like the Vault Boy bobblehead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything with him either. I was like, let me just do something with this because I just recently watched the show on Amazon and it was pretty good, but I've never played the game.
Yeah.
I play the games.
Yeah, Emmett's into that big time.
Oh yeah, you should see my room.
And this, I'm pretty much still waiting for Books A Million to fulfill my Who Was Wonder Woman order. They keep sending me emails saying they're working on it, so I'm just going to just let them do it. I refuse to pay a whole lot of money for it.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to have her next to Batman. But I got Val-Zod, and, I'm paying respects to Melissa Benoist for her job as Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the actual platinum version of the Action Comic Superman. And I was happy to find him loose because I have the original one, or the first one. The original one. So I found him loose at another toy store. And I was like, oh, yes, let me go ahead and grab him because I'm not paying $30 more just to have the different color. So.
Right. Don't blame me for that one bit, man.
And yep, gargoyles. That's one of my favorites, having the gargoyles. So originally, basically what I do when I do collect is I like to complete the family dynamic. That's the easiest thing for me, is to complete the family dynamic. So Goliath and Demona, obviously. And since they're on my bookshelf, I have them reading. And then I was like, okay. I was waiting for Angela, like really waiting for, hoping Angela comes out. Angela finally comes out. I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm like, all right, cool, I get Angela. But then Angela comes with a baby, and I realized, or I found out that that was actually baby Angela. I'm like, okay, so how am I going to do this? Either I'm going to pose the baby with the parents or the grown up. So I decided, you know what? Let me just make it to where, even though Angela had children with, what's his name? Hudson? Not Hudson. Broadway.
Broadway.
Even though she had children with him, I just said, let me just go ahead and make this Angela Jr. So I just have her under Angela, like that's her kid.
Cool.
And of course, Bronx, to have the family dog. So
yeah.
And the other two over there, that's the actual Power Ranger Cobra Kai crossover. So that's Daniel LaRusso and his daughter Sam.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Cool. So they had to get Elisa Maza, and of course they had to get Suited Xanatos. And that Frylock, that's from that's from Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything with him either, so I just put him up there.
What's the deal with Chester?
He's cool.
Oh yeah. I had to get Chester Cheetah. I had to get Chester Cheetah. I was like, yeah, I'm looking forward to Tony the Tiger when he comes.
Oh,
there you go.
Popeye. Yep, Popeye is my newest. Yep, he's my newest addition right there. And then you see the crossover of Power Ranger and Cobra Kai with those two, Johnny Lawrence and Miguel, John Wick, and then that Doom. I wasn't doing anything with him. I wasn't even looking for him. Didn't really care to have him, but he came in that 2-pack with old school Monica Rambeau. So I'm like, okay, let me do something with him. So let me do something comical with them. So since, again, the family dynamic with the Gargoyles, Hudson is there, Broadway is there. So I just like, let me see what Doom can do. So he's trying to grab his chicken. And then Star Trek, I pretty much got the most important ones, or at least the ones I can find. So you got Jean-Luc Picard, you've got Geordi LaForge, even though he's taller, from a different company, I guess. You've got Michael Burnham and Commander Riker. Oh, not Riker. Commander Kirk, right over there with the Starship Enterprise. And I'm glad I got that. I got that on clearance. That Starship Enterprise lights up and makes sounds.
Oh, cool.
And then if you move over, then you see Shuri on top of it because she's actually looking at the other scene that's playing underneath her. Cool. Yeah, there's a scene playing underneath her where she's seeing her brother and her cousin, Killmonger, like fighting over the DeLorean.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I figured they both had a reason to go back in time to change their stories.
Right.
Yeah.
And this here, that Optimus Prime, I got him from Bomb Busby. It's a store that ships overseas. Cool store. And I was happy to get that. And underneath him is like, what is that guy's name? It's Black Lightning and Cyborg. And then that's Sue Storm. That's Jessica Alba. And of course, that's the Diamond Select, Mr. Fantastic. So I pretty much had, when I finally got a chance to get Aunt May loose, I had her pose right there with Mary Jane. I got her loose. I was happy to get her. That's kind of a grail too, because you can't really find her. Yeah. And I had her also next to inside of, what's his name? Mr. Fantastic. You see the Renew Your Vows Mary Jane in her spider outfit as Spider-Man is sharing his powers with her.
Right. Cool.
And then next to, stop. So
the musical
next to next to Aunt May is Captain America and Bucky Cap. You see the wings, you see Sam Wilson, and you don't see Vance Astro, but you do see his shield right there behind Mr. Fantastic's hand.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then that Jessica Drew, that Spider Woman, I just took the head off of the one from Spider-Verse and put it onto the other body because she just looks better not pregnant. So
right.
Yep, that's my newest addition there.
And when I was looking through your pictures earlier, this really caught my eye. I really do like how you got this set up, man. Looks really
that right there. Yeah, I'm happy I got that. I'm going to get another one that seats 12.
Cool.
That's on Amazon as well. And after that, I'll be able to pretty much get all of my cars in there.
That's cool, man.
Yep. So it comes with lights. It's an easy setup too. Really cool. If anybody wants to get some, they should get it. They come in different sizes. Of course, those are 24. And I had to get the DeLoreans. So the DeLoreans, I got all 4 of them. Got the rail wheel car. That's the one. That's the most recent one with the rail wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 are anime. That's Naruto and Kakashi. And then on top, even though you can't really see it that much, you see Chester Cheetah in his car. And then you see the Ecto 1 Optimus Prime mix or crossover
Really
under
cool.
the light.
Really cool, man.
Yep. And see there where you have that Wonder Woman. I didn't care to get that Wonder Woman ever, but I saw her at Ross for a nice low price. So I had to jump on her. And then I just got that Misty Knight too. And that was cool. And you see that's that Platinum Detective Comics Batman with the sketch in Rebirth Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the other stuff I need to put inside my case.
It's gonna be your it's Jada toys, right?
Yeah, Jada. You see Optimus Prime. You've got Knight Rider. You got Batman 66. The Spider Buggy up on top. Chun-Li's car. And what's that? 89 Batmobile? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
89 to 92. Yeah. Very cool. Sorry, I just had to skip.
And then my speedsters. I got more speedsters, but I figured I'd just go ahead and get those some love. Paying respects to Grant Gustin because he was one of the best to ever do it.
Yep.
And Wally West. And then you have who I call Black Wally because he's pretty much a carbon copy of Wally West, but they did decide to make him better by writing him differently. But I did not want to get his carbon copy suit. I want to get a suit that made him look like he was an original character. So I got the speed metal version.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah, those are the other cars. That's Fast and Furious. Underneath all of that is an actual bucket. That's that car, Dominic's car. That's a bucket. That's a popcorn bucket.
Cool.
It rolls too. So it's great.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep. And then you see Bugs Bunny, and then right there next to it is the actual Party Wallop, the actual Transformer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yep.
How does that bucket work? Is it like you open the hood?
Yeah, you open the hood. No, you open the whole top actually, and a lot of popcorn gets in there.
Yeah. Very cool.
Those popcorn buckets are really cool.
Yeah, I try to get those when I can. I skipped the Deadpool one. I really didn't care for that one. The last one I got, I think, was
the Wolverine one. You take it out.
Popcorn.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a rip off of the Dune one, but it was I didn't care to get that one. They had 2 different ones.
Right.
And this one here, this is pretty much my garage where you're seeing everything else. I added Captain Jack Sparrow. I wanted to make sure Angel and Falcon had a chance to fly or look like they were flying. So I put them on. I found a nice tall flight stand for both of them to be showcased, and I was happy to find that.
Cool.
And this is just pretty much, this whole top shelf is like representing all the different heroes of my childhood, pretty much.
Yep.
And so I try to keep heroes over here instead of villains. Even though I got on the left side, the far left side is is Biff Tannen. That's the only one up there because I didn't know what to do with him because I have Doc and Marty over there. I figured why not.
Very cool.
Yep. And my brother-in-law gave me that Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, that's the second shelf. I figured to do something with Poison Ivy. So I had her under Joker. That's Uma Thurman, of course.
What's Vault Boy
And
drawing at?
I don't know. That's another thing that came with like Loot Crate or something. And I just had it. He has a metal detector.
Yeah.
And I just took him out the box and just had him sitting there. I don't know what I'm really doing with him. He's just there.
Oh, that's cool. That Chester Cheater box has got like the nutritional.
Yeah,
Card on
they
it.
do that.
That's funny.
Yep, they have that in there.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's the scene I was talking about. So you got Killmonger and T'Challa fighting over the DeLorean, and I have just RoboCop standing there like he was driving the car. So I don't know why RoboCop would drive the DeLorean, but there he is.
It just worked, man.
I don't know, but funny story. The first DeLorean I ever saw in person was in a barn, and it had footprints all over it because an electrician crew had gone in and actually had walked across it to hang chicken lights from this.
Oh, no.
No joke.
Wow.
No joke. It belonged to a guy I worked for, and his DeLorean had footprints all over it because they literally used it as staging to hang chicken lights in that barn.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, right there. So that was the Batman bucket. I was proud of this one because it took a long time to finally get that piece in the background to be useful. That's actually a old film reel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's an old film tin, isn't it?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I used to work at a movie theater as a projectionist, and I was like, let me grab this. And so I got it, and so I was able to use that as a manhole cover. That was my entire purpose. I'm going to use it as a manhole cover somehow. And then there it was,
awesome.
Last Ronin. Finally got all the figures for that, and I just put that together with a turtle blanket over my desk or
It looks like a manhole
table.
cover. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I was proud they were able to finally do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep, good old Robin Hood. I found that for a nice low price at on Amazon. Great thing about that, well, the horrible thing about that is that you cannot pose that thing easily.
Yeah.
Like you cannot have him hold that arrow easily. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I love Robin Hood.
I did when I was a
Robin
kid.
Hood. I loved it.
Yeah.
Hey, folks.
Even got him in the sky.
Yeah, he's in the sky.
Okay. Yep. And then that's this right here is definitely hard to stand. So if you're trying to stand this guy, it's not even worth it because it's ridiculous. So if you get a chance to stand him, take a picture quick because he might be falling. But I had to do it because that was a nice look for him.
Oh, yeah. And bird legs don't hold him up too well. He needs to hit the gym more.
Like I said, you breathe hard and that one's going to fall over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't have any stands. That's my Power Ranger collection. I have Goldar in a box, and I have Lord Zed also sitting somewhere. And I think the next one I would give would probably be Rita Repulsa, but that's about it. I'm trying to get everybody. I got pretty much everyone I wanted, especially the Ninja Power Rangers. I only wanted Aisha, Rocky, and Adam. That's all I wanted for Ninja.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one too, because it's an interesting setup to have the Avatar in between feudal Wolverine and feudal Captain America. But I got those, I think, for either Macari or AliExpress, one of those two. And I believe that Captain America might be a knockoff because the colors are darker than what I've seen online.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But I don't care because
They look
it's
fantastic.
still the darker color makes it look more realistic for what he has to do. I don't see Captain America wearing a big bright blue outfit fighting. So
That's very cool.
and the thing about the Aang is with McFarlane's Avatar Last Airbender, those things cannot stand, or he can't stand on that scooter. He's supposed to stand on the scooter, but he was falling and it was ridiculous. I'm like, this is dumb. So I just put it in front of him.
Don't blame you for that.
It's an exercise ball.
There you go.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so there you have just Leonardo there with two of the in the back. You got Commander Rogers, and then you got what's that dude's name? You got two. What is it? Unchained or Superman? Forgot
Superman
what it's called.
Unchained. Yeah, both of the
Yeah, and then you can get a good picture of Rescue there. That's Iron Man.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then I got my wrestling folks. Got Hulk Hogan. Got Macho Man over there petting Battle Cat.
That's macho.
Yep. And then the big figures in the back, like the Batman, the Captain America, the Spider-Man, and Superman, I got that from my wife's uncle. And I was like, yo, I got to get, I mean, he just gave them to me. So like, yo, I would definitely grab these because those are like my main 4 heroes that I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And they stand above everybody. They're like tall. So I'm like, this is great. I think that's like a Toy Biz Captain America. And then right behind He-Man, you have the Green Hornet and Kato.
Yep.
He gave me those too.
Nice. Looks like Hulk's photobomb in there behind He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk is look like he's photobombing. He's actually on his little diorama piece, but it's weird how he stands. I just have him back there, and I got Black Widow back there underneath Mild Manor Bruce Banner, just to have them together because she would always in the movie in the MCU saying the sun's getting pretty low or whatever. So I just had them connected right there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the wider shot. You see Mr. T right there. I Pity the Fool with the newer collection of the Turtles and that diorama piece put together with the artwork. And then you also have Jack Kirby right there as well.
Yep.
And then you have April O'Neil interviewing Daredevil about his connection with the Turtles.
Cool.
Because Turtles came from Daredevil or was inspired from Daredevil. So she's interviewing him about how they connect, how they're connected.
Was that what she asked him? Excuse me, sir. Did you see what happened?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a bad Welcome to the show, Sylvester. Oh,
yeah.
Our resident comedian there. I believe that was
Yeah,
it.
right when he mentioned that, I remember he's blind.
Yep. It's the joke.
I couldn't resist. That was too good.
Very cool collection. I see some. It's funny. This is the second week in a row we see Muppets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You saw some Muppets. You saw Rolf and Scooter. Oh yeah. That's cool too. That's sitting at my desk at work as well. And that's just Black Adam looking at Tony Stark because Tony Stark is trying to show him something, but nothing's really happening. And Commander Rogers is like, "What are you trying to do, Tony?" And that, and they're sitting on the car. That car is another Jada car. That's actually what's his name? Star-Lord's car. So that's the little Star-Lord figure that they have that came with it. And I figured that car looked great with the color scheme of Tony's outfit. So
yeah, it does.
Very cool.
And that's the other one. That the Optimus Prime back there. That's another popcorn bucket.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yep, and you can actually put the straws in the cabin to drink out of it. You can put liquid in the cabin to drink out of it.
Oh,
yeah.
They really do some crazy stuff with those popcorn buckets, man.
I really didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Now you're making me want to collect popcorn buckets.
No, I'll probably pass, but it's cool. It's cool to look at.
Yep, and Michelangelo right there. I just saw a video with Raphael's coming pretty soon. I have him pre-ordered. Those cars right there represent like my main 3 cars from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know where those cars are, but I was actually able to find all 3 of them. I found the RoboCop car online, I think Etsy or something. And shockingly, the car is in the exact same condition of how I remember it when I don't remember where it is. The exact same condition. Like, that's the canopy, the glass that opens up is broken, just like my other one was. No gun. Like, the gun is supposed to be on top. That is not there. That animated Batmobile is just like mine was. Everything works. The bumper pops out, the headlights pop up, the claw in the back works. And that 89 Batmobile, exactly the same thing. I actually found those 2 at another local toy store, Replay Toys, for a nice low price, like $30 for both of them.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah, ridiculous, right? So if I look in my mom's storage and find them, I'll just have 2 of them. But I was so happy to find it. I was like, "Oh yes, thank you."
Very cool. Very, very cool.
So
yep. And of course, that RoboCop fits in there too, so I can put him in a different car instead of that standing on the DeLorean.
Nice.
So what got you into collecting?
I mean, I connected pretty late. I already had some toys that I was getting off and on to the comic book shop and whatnot. And then I just started getting more into it when I started. I don't know. I think I got one thing, and then I was like, I just can't have just one. I gotta have, like, if I want to complete again the family dynamic, I gotta get more. So let's say like McFarlane. If I got Batman, like cool, and I gotta get Dick Grayson, right? Then I gotta get if Damian Wayne is there. Oh, well, that's Blood. I gotta get him. Then I saw Thomas Wayne. Oh, I gotta get him. All I need now is Talia al Ghul and Martha Wayne, because I also have what's his name, Ra's al Ghul.
Yep.
So that right there would be completing the family, the Wayne family, or the blood, whether it's the al Ghul blood and the Wayne blood, all there together.
Right.
And then I would just have some funny little scenario where Selena Kyle will show up at like a family gathering, and Talia al Ghul will be like, "What's she doing here? It's supposed to be a family affair." Like, nah, Talia. I mean, Selena's cool. We're trying to make some things happen, trying to get married. I don't care what you're trying to do. She's not supposed to be here. Go on, scat cat, something like that. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I just collect various different things that just appeal to me. I don't try to keep up with everybody else. Like if everybody else think, "Oh, this is great," like okay, but that doesn't really mean much to me. So I just get what makes me feel good and what speaks about where I came from and who I am.
Right.
I just stick with that
mix of action figures and stuff.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah,
got some other stuff too that's like in the attic and stuff that's posted on my bedroom wall, but that was that was a good way to display some stuff there.
Right.
I like those scenes like where you got all these oddball characters from different, and they're interacting with one another. That's what makes it look cool.
That is cool.
Like that.
Yeah.
Other than
I
just having
appreciate
them all,
that.
It's very cool. It's a cool collection. It's like that's like the third collection we've seen. It's like it's diverse. It's not just here's my Star Wars collection and there's 9,000 different Star Wars pieces. Or this is my Marvel or this is my DC. It's just like no, there's a whole bunch of a lot of stuff in there. That to me is somebody that actually just appreciates toys and figures and the culture and collecting, because you're not just that it looks a lot less addictive, right? Because some completists you look at their collection and go, boy, this is a sickness. This isn't a collection.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool to see diverse collections like that.
I'm feeling attacked, Dave.
I've been there, done that, buddy. Trust me. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I figured I had to do that. I had to make it to where it's diverse. So I'm looking for my Street Fighter. I have some Street Fighter figures as well. And then I got something else coming. I got coming in the mail. I've got also from BombBusby.net is Goofy. It's a campground Goofy or whatever. And they got a whole thing where Goofy, Mickey Mouse, and Donald, all three of them are camping. And so it's just a camp figure for him.
That's kind of cool.
And it comes with accessories too. He's sitting in a lawn chair and some other stuff. So I'm going to be nice. It's going to be nice when I get him. I'll definitely post that in the group.
This really is the golden age of collecting, because I don't think there's a property out there that isn't being produced by somebody. It's really awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's an awesome collection, Sylvester. It really is.
Appreciate it. Just getting my kid also acclimated so know how to play with the stuff, because he loves, as soon as I get my Jada car or anything like that, he's always wanted to play with it. So I'm just getting him acclimated to where he will play with some things and he knows not to crash it like his monster trucks and all the other stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah, there's nothing worse than letting your kid have a $200 car and hearing it go down the set of stairs or something.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
That's funny. Very cool. Very, very cool. Great collection. I appreciate you sharing it.
Yes,
Thank you for showcasing it.
So what do you think, guys? What else we got on our agenda here? You, my friend, are welcome to hang out with us as long as you want. But we're going to talk about Farleycon, and we're going to show an interview, and what else we got going on right off the top of my head here? Right off the top,
Yeah.
Shane, he sent me a list, and I'm trying to follow it.
Well, I do appreciate it. I am going to drop off. We're about to play with some remote control cars.
Nice.
So,
Very nice.
No, very, very.
Appreciate
Thank
you being
you
on, buddy.
very much, Sylvester. That's awesome. Thank you very much, buddy.
all right, thank you.
Great collection.
Yeah.
Have a
Cool.
good night, buddy.
Very nice.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, hi.
Cat.
Okay, the cat. Go on now.
Good night, Emmeett.
Good night, Emmeett.
Good night. What is very cool. Sorry, no, guys. I am having a terrible time with my voice over the last few days. My lungs are all crowded up, and it seems to go right there, and I can't get my wind regulated to save my life. So thank you for doing that, Shane. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's
no,
fine, buddy.
So everybody knows you've been.
he doesn't. He thinks I just showed up.
Oh no, Timothy knows you've been right here. Trust me.
We all know you've been right there.
I just
Right here. So, very cool. Thanks to Sylvester for that. It's a cool, diverse collection, and
I like all the Vault boys.
I like seeing that because, like I said, that to me shows he just likes the stuff, just
Exactly.
just likes it. So that's very, very cool.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Lurking in the shadows, not so much lurking. He lurks very, very loudly. I wish I could get
Recording.
more ninja, less rhinoceros or something because it's pretty noisy.
My feet are bigger than yours. It makes.
I know they are, and you clop around here like Ronald McDonald, letting everybody know. So, okay, Farleycon. Jeez, I'm gonna blow it here. Farleycon. It's a smaller show, but it was still a good show. I thought, anyways. There was a lot of artists there this year.
I thought it was cool.
Some voice actors. I will say something that I hope doesn't offend people. There were some cosplayers there. Nowhere near as many as I was kind of afraid of because let's face it, sometimes some of the Comic-Con stuff you really don't want to be dragging your kids in and out of. There was a couple of guys whose
that was
whose choice in costumes was a little questionable, or a lot questionable, or completely inappropriate.
But one was kind of cool.
Nothing about those guys was kind of cool.
But
what?
The cosplay crew, those who do the Joes.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They actually liked our costumes, me and Silas's.
Yeah, because we had Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow running all over the show yesterday, so that was pretty cool.
They were in and out like ninjas.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. Amy and I had this conversation today because I said that we're probably going to end up having to reel these guys in, but Amy made a good point. The fact of the matter is all of these vendors were great with these kids because they're so happy to see kids.
Exactly.
So,
we were doing trading and all that.
It's very good. And I spoke to one of them and said, we gotta try not to curb it too much because, if these guys don't come up and do it too, there isn't going to be anybody to take our place. Just what we'd hate to admit is really just a few short years. So,
and what was kind of cool, there were like kids working at some of the stands and stuff, like at the stands.
So it was pretty awesome. Let's do. Want to run those videos, Shay?
Yeah, I got a little short video and a couple pictures of the con.
Yep. Let's do that.
Just a little short 13-second video, just kind of give people a perspective of what it was, how it looked and whatnot. It wasn't really big, but it was good. But there was a lot there. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. And here's a picture of Jason, John, myself. Emmeett and Mr. Dave there. First time that Jason Adams and Dave got to meet. That's something we like to do when we go to these cons. We try to get up with everybody and, you know, meet everybody that's there.
Boy, that photo looks staged, though, doesn't it?
It does, but it wasn't.
We're agreeing to world peace.
Yeah.
Marvel and DC collectors will now get along. From here henceforth, Marvel and DC collectors will now get along.
It doesn't look like Dave is going to live up to his end of the deal.
No, I still hate you guys. Sorry. No. I'm just kidding. Very cool. But it does look staged, though, doesn't it? It's just the way.
Now that you mention it, Nancy's the one that snapped that one. Give her a little credit on those pictures. Yeah, that was that. And then I forgot this one. Gotta add this one back. Little old Marshall. He got to hold my autographed Snake Eyes from Larry Hama.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't take a picture of it.
Or as Marshall calls him, Harry Lama.
Harry Lama, yeah.
Harry Lama. Harry Lama. There you go.
Oh, the mom's coming with the treat.
Very cool.
That was all the pictures. And for some reason, we always get just too entangled in everything else to take pictures. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like Dave said, there was some there that we just really didn't take pictures of. But it was really good. Really good one.
You didn't show the oatmeal cream pie picture.
Didn't show those. Those are not for children.
Party, but I'm here.
Just letting him have the laundry room, too.
Well, Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, there he is. Cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got to share in our stuff, which is perfectly fine because most of it is actually standing the test of time very well. So that's a good thing.
Actually, I want to say this.
Okay.
So, there's the Gadsden show in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, my little cousins, I actually invited them to come over with us, and they're very young. So, if that would actually be kind of cool for them because they'd actually look back on that and think that's really cool. That's going to be their first toy show they've ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the littles. So if I make it to the show in Gadsden, there'll be 4 of them, not 2 of them.
Oh boy.
Just be aware, be forewarned.
Yeah.
No, I will not refer to Mr. Hama as Harry Lama. I'm just not doing it. So Marshall will probably get away with that, but I don't think we would. So
Where'd Shane go?
he left. He's done.
But
Well, I got a couple of stormtroopers I'm gonna give Silas and see if he can't trade off and get me keep trading up till he gets me a gold head steel brigade at it. I'm confident he can do it. I really am.
He's just that kid. He's trade happy, and yeah, that's okay. You know.
Well, that's actually what we're gonna do with Cal and Rory. We're gonna
Apparently, Shane had said that he had seen something on YouTube or something where there's this group of kids that go in with Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something, and the whole purpose of it is to try to see how far you can trade up.
Yep,
apparently, these 2 wingnuts have watched that too. So
no, we watched at an airsoft convention.
Well, the idea is the same. So you know, just how much stuff can I pirate from these poor people that are just trying to cater to these little kids?
Well, what we're actually trying to do is, I have like a challenge set up. We have 2 groups, me and Cal, Silas, and Rory. We're trying to get to the most expensive item in 30 minutes.
Okay. Well,
and then we'll see who has the most.
We'll see how this works. Anyways,
we'll see how this
works. Anyways, you guys are going off the rails now.
Yeah, for real.
Corey.
Anyways, what else we got? Just let's do. Yeah, we were fortunate enough to get Mr. Hama for a sit down again this year, and Again, I apologize to these guys earlier. We decided Mr. Hama needed a lunch break badly, and so did we. And we kind of went separate ways real quick. By the time I got back to check on to see if he had gotten his lunch okay, I just went to check on him and said, you get your lunch okay? And he goes, yeah. I said, you still want to do this? And he said, yeah, let's do it right now. So that's kind of the way that went. So it's just me. But we had a good time anyways. Hopefully you guys haven't seen the videos yet, because we actually had I have a great time with the guys. So let's if we can. For whatever reason, guys, the table space was much smaller this year, so I couldn't do it with my laptop. So we had to use the GoPro, and it had something to do with memory. I'm not sure what, but the GoPro segmented the interview in 3 different videos. So forgive that, but it's still pretty cool. So whenever you want to, Shane, knows. Hey guys, I got the man again this year. I'm just thrilled to be here and be able to talk with him for just a minute. They've been wearing him out today, so we're going to make it quick. We just got done with a quick lunch break. We've got a small window here in between signings. So, congratulations, Mr. Hama. I checked the numbers today on the compendium with Kickstarter. 10,490 individual backers. That is absolutely amazing. Money-wise, it's the #1 Kickstarter in the comics category ever. So, I mean, that's the bulk of that compendium is your work. They had the Transformers and they had special missions in there, but it's the 1 through 155 run. So, congratulations on that. That's another piece of history that belongs to you and only you. So, that's awesome. You must have been a little floored when they contacted you and said we need another 500 book plates signed, though, huh? That was
that was like what?
that really came out of the blue when they announced that rewards tier, and it's just like, and I remember when I saw it, it's just like, oh, that poor man is going to do that 500 more times, 1,000 signed book plates. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. Got mine on order. I hope you guys did too, because that is actually a fantastic set. And I'm glad to see Skybound is working with you.
I once signed 5,000 books in one day.
5,000 in one day? That must have been an epic, right?
It was for QVC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it was Wolverine number 100 or something like that. It was a big issue.
Wow.
And they sold out on QVC in like a week.
Wow. 5,000 in one day? Boy, that's a long day. That's hot on the hands. Boy, it would have to be. I just wanted to touch base with you on that, because that's a huge accomplishment. That's I'm not going to say that's a cherry on top of your career, because I hope you have a much longer career ahead of you. But that's quite a milestone to achieve. #1 Kickstarter campaign, and I think that record will stand for a good long time. I know I wanted to talk about this because I talked this issue 302. And I've been reading comics forever and a day, and I have to tell you, I don't know a lot about how the mechanics of all of this work, where you're the writer, but I know you don't really storyboard. You've said that over and over and over again. You really just write page to page, if not panel to panel. So this last page here, I talked about it on our webcast. This right here, for somebody that's been reading this book since day one, and I'll just show it to you guys real quick. I talked about that. This is, if I have to give you huge props for this. If I never read another page of G.I. Joe, this is a happy ending for these two characters. I mean, I think this is absolutely fantastic. How did this come about? Just same practice as always. It's just like I want this moment with Scarlet and Snake Eyes, and we'll move on to the next issue. Or
nothing is planned out.
Right.
I write it literally page by page. So I just got to this page and said, "Oh no, let's do it.
Let's just do it." This is
because otherwise, what I read in other stuff really affects me. It's like lots of times, most of the time, I read something and I know the ending.
Yeah, right.
I just figure, the butler or whatever.
Yep.
And then I lose interest.
That happens with me quite a lot now too.
So if when I'm writing, well, I don't consider myself a writer. I've never, I couldn't get writing work in the business for 20 years.
Right.
So I just envision all the stories as a series of pictures. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of artists like to work with me, because I write visually.
Sure.
I want the story to be told in the pictures. And I try to make that very clear to the pencilers that I work with. So I write paragraphs. Each paragraph is a hand.
Okay.
And I like to control the page because I like to have a cliffhanger at the end of every page.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there has to be something at the end of every page to make you want to flip it over. And I like to end all the scenes. They end on the last line on the page, so that the new scene is on the next page. I hate it when there's like one panel of the scene. Over. We call that a widow.
Really?
Yeah. There's a term for it. But yeah, I mean, it's all about my way of doing this. Is I'm just thinking of the pictures in my head to tell the story.
Right.
And when I sit down to write, all I'm doing is describing the pictures that I see in my head. And I don't worry about that. Dialogue comes dead last.
Sure.
I don't like to have characters explaining what's going on.
That is one thing that's always kind of driven me nuts, because it's almost like
Well, writers who can't draw do that all the time. They'll have 5 pages of people sitting in a room explaining something. And
when that's a discussion they should have had with the penciler, not the reader.
The story has to be told in the pictures.
Right. And that's why I love the medium, and it works. Your style works. I mean, it's worked for over 40 years. So, I mean.
Well, when I was doing Batman, I got fired off the book because the artist, who I've never heard of, told the editor that it was either him or me, and the editor chose him. And because he wanted me fired off the book because he wanted to write it.
Oh, there you go.
So they let him write the next issue, and it was so bad that they had to print an entire page of type to explain what was going on.
Oh, wow.
In the book.
That's not good.
And he never wrote another comic.
Wow.
And he actually never really went anywhere.
Sure.
But, what can I say? That's where Coopers will get you.
I can see that, because, boy, that's amazing, though. Think about that. You got to print a page of text to explain what you just looked at. That's pretty bad.
The editor let him do it. So,
wow.
I'm not going to name any names.
No, I don't want you to. No.
But it's really easy to find out.
That's probably on Wikipedia somewhere, right?
Well, no. I mean, look at the last issue of Batman that I did.
There you go. Right. Yeah, this is emotionally, this is fantastic. This is, I'm kind of, and a lot of other guys out too, we're kind of getting to that age where we're starting to look for happy endings, and this right here, kudos, because this is a fantastic, that's just awesome. That sums them up in a nutshell. He hasn't been able to speak for decades at this point in time. He still doesn't need to. That says volumes. That's awesome stuff. That's absolutely awesome stuff. So if you don't have 301, or if you do, pay more attention to that last page, because that's actually fantastic.
Okay.
Don't just pass that over as romantic or girl boy, blah blah blah. That's a major thing. So I wanted to take just a minute before we talk about your Kickstarter project. Last year, when we met up with you at Joe Fest, I had you sign one of the After Action Report covers that had Tommy, Stalker, and Snake Eyes in the field out with the Huey in the background. We used that as an incentive for a toy drive last fall for kids, underprivileged kids. Number one, for each toy you donated, you got a number for the drawing for that particular print. I just wanted to let you know that we collected. There must have been 700 or 800 individual toys. It took us forever to come up with the tickets.
Wow.
And your artwork was a major player in providing a Christmas, and I do mean an enormous Christmas, for at least 16 kids in 2 counties in the state of Alabama that might not have had anywhere near the Christmas that they did. So I wanted to extend a thank you from our group to you for that, because that particular print was a huge part of the success of that toy drive. We really couldn't have done it without your help. Even though you didn't know that's what we were doing with it, that is what we did with it. So, and that was a huge thing. Like I said, there must have been 700 or 800 toys in 2 different vehicles that needed to be brought back to Cherokee County, Alabama. So, and they had 4 or 5 different caseworkers sorting it all, the clothing and the shoes and the toys and all of it. So thank you for that. That was a big deal. And we're hoping to do something again this year. So, guys, Mr. Hama has this Kickstarter campaign coming out for this new project that he's working on. And I wanted to touch base with you on this because I have every intentions on backing this too. Mounties versus werewolves. Which is, I mean, this is a departure for you, but not really. I mean, it's, you know, you're not new to creating characters, and you know, Bucky O'Hare was, I mean, our youngest. I got too many kids. Daughter number 2 loved Bucky O'Hare when she was little. She was at that age when the cartoon, the righteous indignation, always cracked me up because that was just hilarious. But what do you got going on here? This is 1922, Alberta, Canada. Go from there. What are you building?
The main character is a serving officer in the Canadian Army. Full action in France and Belgium, and he comes back to take over his old job as RCMP, and he gets sent to this remote outpost. And he gets there and he realizes that it's a secret detail of the RCMP that's out there to fight werewolves and prevent them from spreading south to populated areas. They're trying to contain them, you know, in this remote area. And it's, they don't want it to become public because it would cause a major panic. The other characters include a native Canadian sent to a boarding school. This is a notorious thing that we did in Canada and America. They took native kids and tried to whiteify them. Completely destroy their culture. But he manages to hold on to his culture. And he gets sent, and he joins up to go to the fight in France. And he's a sniper.
Oh, nice.
And he comes back, and this is his neck of the woods. So he's in contention with the other character because he's got his own reasons.
Right.
Wanting to fight the werewolves. And that sort of steps on the toes of the mountains.
Cool.
So it's a sort of a chance to do something that's sort of like a combination of Deadwood and werewolves.
Right.
with some Sergeant Preston thrown in. You're old enough to remember Sergeant Preston.
Yeah. This is very cool. Have we got a date yet on this?
No.
Not yet. So, just like anything else with Kickstarter, guys, you can go on and sign in for the updates so that when this...
I think it's going to go live really soon.
Okay. When this campaign starts, I'm going to encourage all of you to support it. I'm definitely going to, because I'm actually intrigued by this idea. I think it's cool. It's definitely different. And I'm curious to see, I really am curious to see your writing style without somebody over your shoulder, because, these are your properties. This is your IP versus Hasbro. So I'm actually,
Hasbro never really,
and I appreciate that. Yeah.
Let me. They gave me pretty free rein.
Yeah.
And I was given pretty free rein on Wolverine at Marvel until it got really popular.
Yeah.
And then they started making me go to all the retreats.
Oh, is that what they were called?
Well, they had these retreats once a year. Everybody that worked on any of the X properties had to go and spend 3 days.
Oh wow!
At some hotel in the middle of the woods, coming up with the whole storyline for all the X characters for the whole next year.
Oh wow!
Sometimes they really exaggerate. People would yell and pound on the table, scream. There was such
high energy, right?
High energy, and then there was all this good food. So, you'd like fight all morning, and then after the stress, you'd like overeat at lunch, and you'd come back and feel really bloated and argue more, and then go to dinner, and everybody would gain 5 pounds.
That's funny. That's funny. I can see all of you creative guys being basically cooked up like that for 3. Oh, that must have been pretty comical at times.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez. Wow.
Especially when you have people with very disparate, viewpoints.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. I remember there was one writer got up and he was campaigning for a kinder, gentler Punisher. And everybody was like,
kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't
it?
Like, what? I'm not even going to ask you that was. You can
always guess.
I'm going to leave it alone. I don't need to go there. Wow. Well, you know what? Like I said, it's just like any other business. You're going to have all kinds. I mean, it's just the way it is. We're piling up here again, sir. So, I'm hoping to make this an annual thing. You'll be back at Joe First next year, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hoping to catch up with you then, if not before.
I had to. There was a conflict between DFW and so to alternate now.
Yeah, and we actually talked about going to Dallas. It just didn't work out for us this year.
Dallas was really good.
Hey guys,
they really treated everybody well.
There was so much G.I. Joe history there this year too that I really wanted to try all the old Hasbro guys and stuff like that.
Well, I got they gave us all these shirts. This is the original,
there you go.
The original G.I. Joe team at Hasbro.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I'm surprised you're wearing that. I'd probably frame it. Nice.
No, I haven't bought a black T-shirt in 20 years. I get so many. From various cosplay groups.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. That's awesome. How many of those did they even make? Probably under 20, huh?
About 20.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Well, thank you.
And I appreciate it. And we will stay in touch and support the Kickstarter, guys.
Okay.
This is his IP. So if you want to show some love for Larry Hama and everything he's done for you, that's a good way to do it right there. Yeah. And I guarantee you'll like the book to boot. So that'll work out good. Thanks, guys. Till next time. Awesome focus. I just have a fantastic time with that man.
He's great. I mean, he's so humble to talk to, man.
There's also another reason why he has a smile on his face right now.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second.
I have never had a bad encounter with him. I mean, you've heard stories, but I've never.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, I will tell, and I will be 100% honest. And I consider the man a friend at this point in time. I have seen him get impatient with people 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, the first time was last year's interview, and you guys are right there when he did it. And I actually have it on film where we were sitting there talking about stuff, and this guy just walks up and just randomly starts talking to him. And all of a sudden you get, New York City Larry Hama, where it's like, I'm talking here.
Yeah.
And the guy just walked off, and he got it. And he did get impatient with 2 guys yesterday. And I will tell you exactly why. One guy came up and just kind of started yammering at him about, hey, do you remember such and such and such and such from a very, very specific comic? And Mr. Hama was just like, I'm sorry, what book? And the guy just kept going on, and then he was just like, he says, I don't remember that. And the guy was just push, and he got impatient with him on that. And then I told you guys this one, just as we were leaving that interview, a guy came up and he sticks his left hand out to shake hands with him. And Larry just said, do you understand what an insult that is in about 80% of the cultures on this planet, that you don't ever offer anybody your left hand to shake it? He said, most of the places in the world, your left hand is reserved for certain functions that are not. That's incredibly disrespectful to do. And the guy had 0 reason for doing it. I thought he was being funny or something. And I kind of looked at Mr. Hama and smirked a little bit, and he smiled, and I went about my business. So, I mean, I don't find him to be unreasonably rude about anything. So,
of all people, he doesn't need you.
Oh, you stop.
For security? No.
Oh, stop.
Good night, Emmeett.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need security. Can I switch gears just real quick before we go ahead, Shane? Go ahead. Go ahead.
If the man needed security, he had plenty around.
Oh yeah. I don't think anybody there would let anybody get too awful close to him, because he's finally getting the appreciation that he deserves all of these years.
He sure is.
Can I switch gears real quick?
Do whatever you do, buddy.
No, something happened when that video was playing, and I don't. I'm kind of floored. For those of you that know Beth, Beth, boy, mix them up. Ben at Sasquatch Toys is usually who we talk to, right? When we do interviews and stuff like that. Seth is the co-owner, right? Seth has got the hair and the beard, and
Yeah, he's the Sasquatch.
He's the Sasquatch, right? He was at Farleycon. We all saw him. We got a chance to talk to him. He was at Farleycon yesterday. Well, things, economically speaking, they're not great for any of us. So,
no,
just like I guarantee you, everybody else in the building, I went there yesterday with a specific budget, and I basically spent that budget without getting something that I really wanted that I had no idea was there. So what I did was, we actually had a minute early this morning before church. Amy and I sat down, we kind of did our bills, and we crunched it all together. And I just said, okay, I think I can swing that. So I sent Seth a text, And he called me right back. And I said, geez, you wouldn't do me a huge favor, would you? And he says, what's that? And I said, you run over to Larry Hama's booth and get me one of those prints. And he goes, oh, man, I'd do that for you in a heartbeat, but they're all gone. And I said, oh, man. I said, there was only a handful of them. And it was actually Steve Lealola that had them on his table right next to Mr. Hama. And he said, nah, man. He goes, I went over to get one for myself, and they weren't there. Well, while I was having one of my coughing fits earlier, I shut the camera off because my phone was ringing, and it was Seth. And he was just saying, what are you doing? I said, I'm right smack in the middle of a live webcast here. You know, why? What's going on? He goes, well, I'm going to stop by your house for a minute. And I said, okay. So it worked out great that while the video was playing, the doorbell's going off.
Oh, cool.
And he got Larry to sign it for me.
Yeah, he pulled a
Very
prize.
nice.
This is page. These were prints. I talked to Steve Lealola about this, about how all of this works with art, right? Do the publishers retain this art after, you know, a comic has been printed, or does the artist? And he said, no. He said most of the time the artist retains the art. And he says, but on issue 21, which for those of you that don't know is the famous silent issue, there isn't a word of text in this entire comic. He said Larry held and still holds every single panel of all of the original artwork to issue 21. So these are all taken from the originals. If you look at them, they've still got all the Marvel markings and everything else on them. You know, it's book, issue, page. You know, all of these, the measurements for the printer, all of that stuff is still,
I think they probably
watermarked on there.
They probably ran it through like a really high detail printer.
I got to tell you guys, not just because of stuff like this, but if you have the opportunity to develop relationships with the local shops, I know John is doing it with Jonathan over here at Wolf's Den. I know Shane has got a good relationship with the folks at Total Nostalgia. Not just because of things like that, but I'm telling you right now, the guys in the toy business, the guys in the collectible world are probably some of the best friends you're ever going to have, right? It's just like anything else in the world. Not all of them, but I look at these two guys right here, and count them in that role. That, you know, Timothy, Corey, Rick. Just you guys are just the best, you know. So thanks. If you get an opportunity to support a local shop, please do. And especially, I'll say it, especially if you have the opportunity and you live around here and you get a chance to support Seth and Ben down at Sasquatch. Those guys are worthy. They are worthy of your business. Makes sense. Geez, I got John crying now. That's terrible. So that is that's massively
Corey's
special.
crying too.
So,
I think Corey's crying too.
he might be. He might be.
Either that or he fell down in the parking lot again.
So I didn't mean to change gears on you, but like I said, Seth
was fine.
Video was playing. Back to Larry Hama. Love the guy. I just do. He and I seem to have a good time together. My interview style, it is exactly how he writes comics. I kind of go in there with an idea and just let him talk, and I talk, and we have fun, and it's not particularly structured. And I did, and again, I spoke to him again, and he's ready to go next year. So.
What's with the T-shirt?
Yeah, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? If we get a big enough audience, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Good night, Emmeett. That'd be pretty funny.
I mean, I design it.
I know you'd design it. I know you would.
If you want me to, I could make one.
No,
and
it's
order it just to be annoying.
that
Oh,
would be annoying.
Oh,
And
So,
then
good night,
Shane
Emmett.
would want it.
you darn right I'd have one.
Anyways, let's go to Mr. Maddox because I know he had something he wanted to show off. So let's do
Let
that.
me see the stuff.
Let's
oh,
do that.
Nancy's over being mouthy. You didn't mention her while ago on the list, so now you got a rivalry.
No,
Uh-oh.
Nope. Wait. See, my better angels
Oops, she
are
throwing
actually in
stuff
the room. I almost forgot the Moose feud is over. So no, Nancy too. Nancy is definitely on that short list. No, the war is over. I'm not doing it. So no, Nancy is definitely on that short list. Mel too. I don't want Mel and Phil left out. So there we go. And Marshall too.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. Show the Muppets. No. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
you
John.
said Nancy's Muppets.
But that's not all of them.
Yeah, that's the one she got it.
Sneak them in.
That's the one. Yeah, she's trying to sneak them in. That's the ones that you notice they're back there with the moose. Those are the ones she picked up from Wolf's Den Friday when we bought it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So this is Deegan
Puckers.
Puckers.
Yeah,
I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
And
That's a weird one.
What was that?
he's the one that I couldn't help it. I didn't really want to spend the money I spent at the show yesterday, but Nancy, it's part of my birthday, so he done issue 301 G.I. Joe number 301. He done me a Steeler, which is fantastic.
It's
He
awesome.
done a fantastic job, and it's colored so that if I could find a black light, it actually when you put a black light on it, it glows.
That's
It does
awesome.
with the highlights and all that. So I got to find a black light. I'm trying to find just one of them little small black light. He says usually he has a bunch of those that he gives people when he does sketches for them, but yeah. And then I got to thinking, I thought, man, I'd like to get like issue, maybe do 302 with Clutch and 303 with Breaker, and have the whole, the first 13 issues with all the OG characters on. That would be cool.
That
Maybe
actually would be cool.
Maybe over time I can do that, but
Nancy's cringing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even know who Steeler was when I mentioned it. I said Steeler, and he said, "Okay, I'm not familiar with that character." So I kind of looked. I pulled it up, showed him a couple of pictures from the Marvel comics, and he did a little research. And take him a little longer because he had people kept coming to his booth and all that, but he finally got it finished there, and it turned out fantastic. I thought. I mean, I love it. All the detail he put into it. I mean, look at
That's fantastic.
like the buckle on his strap and on his holster and all that. Got the 5 o'clock shadow going there. And this part kind of threw him off. He wasn't really sure what that was. And I after, he started drawing, I told him, I said, well, it's kind of like, they're kind of like binoculars that he pulls down. It's like some kind of vision of scope, like a visual scope type thing. I never did really explain what that was, I guess, but I mean, it's kind of.
Did you really?
It was kind of odd, it was one of those odd things, but that's what identifies Steeler having that binocular thing on his head, So, but yeah, I love it. I mean, this is now one of my favorite pieces in my collection of everything. So, and like I said, Steeler don't get a whole lot of love because he's. They develop more characters, and other characters were more prominent, like Snake Eyes, Scarlet and Duke, and all those. And a lot of the OG characters kind of got left, and got, I guess you'd say, outdated in the G.I. Joe mythos, and so they kind of got left behind. But to me, this is the Joe team, but those first 13, the probably the first 10, 12 issues of American Hero focused on this team, on these guys.
Big time, yeah.
And what was it? Issue 6, where they were at the parade, and Steeler was in the MOBAT, and Cobra was planning a sneak attack at the parade.
I think so.
And,
yeah.
That was kind of one of the prominent issues that featured Steeler and Breaker and some of the other short fuse. I think short fuse played a big part in that one, if I remember right. It's been a while since I read it, but it was always one of my favorite issues because, like I said, because it featured Steeler. But I'd love to get some more of these of the other characters. It would be fantastic. And at another booth, I forget whose booth. I just got that they had these small prints. Andy Dugan, I guess it was another artist there. I picked this up for like $5. It's just a little print. Cobra was here.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was
cool.
pretty neat. I liked it. It's just a print he had there. So yeah, and I picked up 3 Spider-Man issues that I was missing from the 600 to 700 issue run. I'm missing some of those. I was able to find a few of those. A lot of the comics there was like older, Silver and Bronze Age.
And the prices were okay. I mean, I saw like these dollar buckets.
Which is kind of odd because you think usually when you go, you see a lot of the newer stuff, but most of it was the older stuff.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I found this guy.
Nice.
Or the bubble was coming off the card, so he let me have it for $20.
Yeah, that's super.
I mean, it's like $50 to $70, right?
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Now, if I could just find a Robin that's coming off the card that I could get real cheap. But anyway, I finally got at least got me a driver for my Batmobile now. So
nice.
Because I got the other Batman, the first Batman that come out. Of course, he's back there in the Whirlybird. The first 3, the Batman, Superman, and Darkseid that come out with the superpowers. Mm-hmm. That was the first Batman. I got him. And the black suit Batman, as soon as I can remember where I put him, I'm gonna put him in my Batwing. But anyway, I can't remember where I put him on my Batwing, so I gotta buy both of those. But anyway, and then the other thing that I really was looking forward to getting when it come out, and the guy had them, was the Skeletor's Collector airship.
Oh, that's cool. I know I saw that in the bag, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and so it's from the cartoon collection. This was, the cartoon. If you ever watched the cartoon, you saw this in multiple episodes. Yeah, it's basic. I mean, because it wasn't much. It's like I think the retail on it's $45.99 or something.
Oh wow!
And it's basic. It's a lot like Blue Beetle's Bug and some of these. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, but they're just neat, and it is pretty good size. So as you can see, it just opens up, and you got a crew of 3 in there. So I went ahead and opened some of my cartoon, my Evil Lyn and Beastman and Trapjaw and stuck in there, and they're ready to go. Cool. It's got the claws, so when you have Tila be bopping along, la 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 la, and then the claws, that's why it's called the Collector, because Skeletor go around snatching people up with it. So these actually extend like that. And of course, Tila's kind of small compared to some of the other figures, but anyhow, they can scoop them up. Both sides do that too, by the way.
So this is how Skeletor just goes out cruising, picking up chicks?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the chick mobile, I guess you'd say. It also comes with blast effects because inside the claws, and I believe it was the same way on the cartoon. They could shoot fireballs out of them, so you can stick those in there too.
Nice.
And that's basically it. It comes with these two fireballs. Well,
now it's stuck.
Them 2 fireballs and these 2 fins you had to plug in when you open it. Otherwise, that was all the assembly there was to it. But I just think it's a cool looking ship. I mean, and it, like I said, it holds 3 characters, and you know, it wasn't that big in the cartoon neither. I mean, it was big enough. I think they could have a battle in the back of it, but you know, maybe not quite to scale, but still.
See, I don't remember that in the cartoon, but I guess I didn't watch it a lot. So.
Oh yeah, it was in several episodes, especially the earlier, like the first season. I remember seeing it quite a bit.
Cool.
But yeah,
that's a cool toy though.
Because I saw that. You know, I mean, gosh, they showed pictures for it here about 4 or 5 months ago, and I've been waiting on it to come out. And I seen that some places had it in stock, and excuse me, and I kind of just waited it out, and I didn't even see it the first time I was there, and then when I went back, the guy had it up there, and what was the name of the he's from Athens, Georgia. This seller was super nice guy. Ginger Kid Collectibles.
Yeah.
It was him and his son, and you know, for the most part, most of his stuff was retail prices. He had a few of the harder to find things. He had them, but he didn't have them marked up a lot. I mean, he had, you know, of course, I picked that cable from him actually because I bought the collector at retail from him. I bought this at retail from him.
Nice.
The Spider-Man Wolverine Fantastic Four set. And since I bought both of those, he knocked $10 off of this. So
oh wow,
he had it. He had a couple of these, and they were marked 45, which I think on eBay they go from anywhere from 45 to $60.
Wow.
And, he let me have it for 35 since I bought those others, you know, and you know, it's pretty.
He had
good
like 2 of those,
and you know, he was reasonable on his stuff. He wasn't just out, you know, crazy with it. I think Shane, that's where Shane got his mythic. Got it. I mean, that's where I got a Mythic Legion from him from Austin.
Yeah, John.
Yeah. That Shane pointed out to me, Melanie. He pointed out to me so I know where it was at, and I went and got it.
Yeah, he had like 2 of those or something.
He accidentally got it mixed in with his bags and took it home with him though. So if you see it there around the house, that's why it's there. But yeah, I didn't pick up a whole lot of things, just those things. But
I found it for you.
That was enough. Yeah,
I'll bring it to you next time.
Yeah, but I'll say this: those guys and the guy that Marshall bought some Star Wars figures from, and a couple other guys. Oh, I forgot I did get this the Marvel Select Spider-Woman guy.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of stuff loose for $5 a piece, and this was one of them.
Oh wow.
So I mean, this is like a $30. If you bought it new as Marvel Select, they usually run around $29.99. And I think maybe she come with a blast effect that wasn't in there, but you know, I'm okay with that because for $5, I mean, I ain't gonna complain.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. And
That's really good for $5.
he had the Revelations Whiplash for $5, and that was what, a $35 figure, $40 figure. I can't remember. I should have picked. I don't know why I didn't pick it up for $5. I should have. But anyway, a lot of those guys there had stuff reasonably priced.
Yeah.
And I noticed, like the guy with the Star Wars that got, you know, he's also the one that Silas traded the 2 figures for the his tank. And he I mean, you know, I kind of watched him with some, you know, some other kids that go over there, and he was genuinely you know, wanting to help kids get things, get figures that they wanted to play with. He didn't mind selling them or giving them a couple, throw a couple extras in and all, just to, you know, just for them to have. And,
there was a bunch of good vendors there.
Yeah, and he had like $10 figures, $5 figures, $3 figures, whatever. And Marshall got some out of the $3 figure bin or something, or 4 for $10 or something like that. And he got a Luke Skywalker and a Darth Vader, but neither one of them had lightsabers. So he went from the $10 bin and pulled out 2 figures and pulled the lightsabers out of them and put in there. So he took from the $10 figure.
Oh wow!
Put in there with so some of them were there. Some of them were there actually. You know, actually there to help kids out,
Yeah.
because they realize this is what it's for. They're toys. They're toys meant to be played with by kids. And
John, when you showed that comic book, I went over to see the Steeler figure. So he does have those really big, like binocular things. I thought he would have had like the visors like all the other guys.
No,
he has big binoculars.
Steelers' his favorite figure. He's aware of that.
Yeah.
No, but man, he got big binoculars.
Well, yeah, that was for the targeting for the tank.
That's what I say. That's what kind of makes him stand out from others, because he always got those binoculars.
Yeah.
Man, that must be heavy.
They're like some kind of. I figure there's some kind of field binoculars or something.
Something for. I always thought they were like targeting for the turret on the tank or something.
Well, could be. Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I think you're right. I don't know. Was they really ever said for sure?
But I don't know. The order of battle it might mention is because it mentions their weapons of choice and all. It might mention. I have to go back and look. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. It was a cool show. It was like I said, it was kind of small, but it was nice.
Yeah, I mean, from here, it was worth the 2-hour drive. I mean, definitely. Yeah. Even if even aside from the Larry Hama stuff, it was worth the drive. I mean, there was actually a lot of good deals. I don't know if I told you guys this or not. There was John pointed it out, but there was a mint sealed Batcopter, Superpowers Batcopter there. That particular vendor had what? $2,000, $2,200 on it or something.
$2,000, yeah.
I was talking to one of the other guys, one of the other vendors there, and he said, "Did you see that Batcopter over there?" And I said, "I actually didn't yet," but I said one of the guys who were here with pointed it out. When he goes, "I got to tell you," he said, "we were watching it." He said, "Just this past week, a graded Minton box Batcopter, graded at 8.5." Sold at Heritage Auctions, I think is I think that's what he said, for $650. And it's just like, wow, if that doesn't kind of tell you what the market is. And he goes, yeah, he says he's 3 times over what the market is right now. And it's just like, man, I said, boy, $650 though, because that was a rare toy in 85 or 86. I said, maybe that was a fluke. And he said, maybe, but he said, we literally just watched that one pass over the block and sold graded at 8.5.
I've not seen a loose one. I mean, I've seen loose complete ones selling for around $650. I don't know what I wonder if they wasn't something they were missing on that or something.
It just, I don't know, but it was cool to see it. But that was, I don't know. That was probably the most expensive thing I saw in there.
Most of their prices were reasonable.
Yeah, for what that was, I'm not going to spend it. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't find that price to be unreasonable for what that was.
No, I didn't either.
So just to give you an idea, but I think that other one that went over the auction block, I think that's a bit of a fluke. Maybe it was a bad weekday or something, because that was odd.
That is kind of odd that it wouldn't,
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's the price of a loose one. If it was still sealed in a box,
it graded at an 85. So I don't know.
I'm going to tell you, graded toys don't do what graded comics do. A graded comic, you can have a comic and say it's near mint, or you can have it actually graded and say it's a 9.6. And you're talking about, because it's graded, it could fetch, depending on what it is, it could fetch 2 to 3 times the value of ungraded. Sure. But I don't see that with toys. I don't either. Think toys pretty much is going to be about the same price regardless. Because it's a little easier to grade a toy than it is a comic. Comic, I mean, you got little hairline, bends and, little color breaks and there's so many things that can change the value on the grade on a comic.
I have to tell you, though, graded toys have always been a kind of a weird thing to me. If you got a graded comic, great. You can always get another issue for your reader. You know what I mean? You can handle it. Blah, blah, blah. Toys really doesn't work that way for me because, it just don't. I never really saw that.
Well, the thing with the grading, like when they first started grading comics, the whole point was because so many people selling online.
Yeah, so there needed to be some protection.
If
Right.
if you're on eBay and somebody says, well, yeah, I got a comic it's mint condition or near mint condition. Well, you don't really know for sure. I mean, they take pictures and maybe you can tell by the pictures, but they may be something on the inside you can't see or whatever.
Right.
You get it and you look through it and think, man, this is like fair conditions. That it's not. So this service said, hey, we'll start grading. You can send the comics to us. We'll grade them. It was mainly meant for like rare books, key issues and things.
Right.
We'll go over it. We'll give it a good solid grade. We'll encase it in something and seal it up. That way that the buyer knows that it's still in the grade that it was when we graded it. You sell it to the buyer. You put it up there. They buy it. They know that it's sealed up in there. So that's the grade it is. When they get it, they're supposed to crack it open and take it out and put it in their collection. But people said, hey, I'll just leave it in this case because it protects it. And it'll always stay this grade. And the next thing you know, everybody started wanting to grade their comics just to put them up and hang them on the wall or to keep them.
Right.
Originally, they were intended to be busted open once you got it because you knew what grade you were getting.
Right, exactly. Right. And then the grading became the collectible, not necessarily what was graded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, initially my idea, my thoughts on it was meant to protect the buyer for investment grade properties, right? I mean, but you're right. They were meant to be opened and, do what you do. And then all of a sudden it turned into its own thing.
Well, for me, on graded comics, I think the only comic that I would ever have graded would be something I've got autographed by the writer, the artist, something like that.
Right.
Because once you get that, you want to kind of protect that.
Right.
And that is probably the best way to protect that.
Right. Yeah, because the minute you have a signature put on it, it goes into that investment grade category. It's not a reader anymore.
Right. Even though, like me, the comics and stuff that I do have graded or autographed, I'm never going to sell those because those are with Mr. Hama. That's something very special to me.
Right.
I sit down and I've had great conversations with the man, and I feel like we're all building a friendship with him.
Yeah.
Because you don't just get to sit down and talk to that man all. So I feel like that would be for me. That would be the only reason I'd grade one. But I do see people getting them graded all the time.
Yeah.
But I do believe it is an investment for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw them again yesterday. The guys that are walking around with armloads of comics in their checklists, right? Because they've looked at the guest list and they've accumulated a bunch of books to have certain artists sign them. And I guess to each his own. But you also know there was the guy walking around with the black sport jacket and the white fedora.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for joining in.
He's there. He was there for the money.
Yeah.
It was very apparent he was there for the money because he must have had 30 books in one armload, and I saw him multiple times.
Yeah.
Right.
So, excuse the voice, guys. So, Hey, GB models, what's happening? I've got some books that I would consider having graded, but like Shane said, those are autographed books. Those are books that, they're not my reader copies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you noticed when that the guy when you first go in the door, there kind of to the left, there was a guy set up with comics, and he had one box that had names with comics in them, and it was all the artists that were there at the show, and he had a sign that said these guys are here at the show today. Get your copy and get it signed. So he actually done the work for you and put them up there. So so he's got them ready and available. You just go over and pick out the comic you want. You buy it from him, and then you go over and get the guy to sign it. And so I thought that was pretty smart. Had it set up,
While we're still on the topic of graded stuff, I get graded cards. I can get that. That makes sense. Because you don't actually have to touch those or open them. They're not.
Well, no, that's true. You can still play a graded card. You can still play a graded Pokemon card,
or like Yu-Gi-Oh, or any
You just have to have them all graded in your deck, though, or otherwise you tip your hand.
Well, yeah, that's once they know what you got. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, they have lists on both sides. It tells you what you're holdings. So it's like,
Yeah, but I got to tell you though, the whole idea of taking something that's very, very valuable to me and sending it away for who knows how long before you get it back, that made me nervous.
No doubt. If I run across a copy of Action Comics #1 or Amazing Fantasies 15, I would personally drive it to Florida, and I would camp out in the parking lot until they got it graded and give it back to
Oh
me.
yeah.
I wouldn't trust it in the mail or the FedEx or anything.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's one card that I know I will eventually get graded, but I agree with you on that. That's probably my favorite because it's my only Magic card. It's this Godzilla Anguirus. It's an Anguirus.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's one of my favorites. So I'd have to I agree with you on that. I don't want to send that away.
No. And I don't know what the turnaround time is on cards, but I'm sure it's probably still just a few months.
Well, I know the last Silver Age comic I sent into CGC, it was 9 months before I got it back. Now the modern stuff, I got it within 6 weeks, but the Silver Age, I think they must have just certain people that grade the older stuff, and I'm assuming that's why it took so long, and they must be because the Silver and Golden Age stuff's what everybody gets graded anyway. So I figure there must be such a backlog of those, and you probably got just certain employees that can grade those, that because they're graded. Say this is my thing. If it's a 9.0, it's a 9.0.
Right.
But now they've got to where if it's Silver or Golden Age, because it's so hard to find them in decent condition, they're more lenient on them when they grade them.
Right.
But why? If it's a 9.0, it's a 9.0. That's what it should be graded. It should be graded at what it actually is. That just means you'll have a whole lot more 3s and 4s and very, very few 9s, but then the ones that really are 9s, they'll be more valuable because they truly are 9s.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense, John, because the sliding scale should be in the eyes of the buyer or owner, not the grading company, right? Because like you said, the standard should be the standard, and the customer still determines the value.
Yeah.
Whatever they're willing to pay is what the value is.
And I'll tell you, I've looked at some. I've looked at some that was graded, and I've looked at Silver Age comics that were graded, and one of them was definitely far better quality than the other, but they'd have the same grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like one of the few that I still have. I got my Amazing Spider-Man #129, first appearance of Punisher. I got it graded. I had it pressed and all before I sent off and had it graded. I had 2 different guys tell me, even the guy that pressed it for me, he's been in the comic book business for over 40 years, knows how to grade comics. And after he pressed it, he told me, he said, you should get a 6.5 on this comic. It's 26 and 6.5. I had another comic expert tell me, yeah, it's a 6.5. When I got it back to CGC, it's 5.5. And so, well, that's just 1 point difference, but it's a difference of about $400 on eBay.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so here I am, and I thought about busting it open and sending it back and getting it graded again just to see what it got the second time. Because I had 2 different guys tell me that were in the business and knew what they were talking about, tell me that it should get a 6.5, 6 minimum. And so I don't really, honestly, I've got the point where I really don't trust the grading that much. And we know that there's been sometimes when they've been a little extra money give to them and they've gotten better grades. I think what was it? One of those groups got in trouble here several years ago for that. They found out that they were taking extra payment to bump the grade up on them.
Well, I know a few years ago they went through a mad dash to hire and train a bunch of new employees, and I mean, if there was ever a time something like that was going to be happening, it probably would have been right in and around that window.
Yep.
Look, I mean, it's more of the same, to each his own as far as I'm concerned, but it's just really not for me. You know, I've seen some awesome stuff. I've seen some awesome stuff that's been graded. The guy that was making the rounds here, 6 or 8 months ago, that had a flag and a Defiant mint in box, both of them that had been graded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they were in the supposedly they were in the the $30,000 and $40,000 range a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you kind of like, and that's when the whole discussion started coming up about, geez, you do know that 99% of the time your Defiant is in pieces inside of that box.
Mm-hmm.
It is broken. It is not. That sucker is not worth $40,000. I don't care if there's a sticker and a glass case on it or not.
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting here. We're all Defiant. We all have, it's one of the Defiant groups, supposedly. We all have Defiants. That sucker is busted inside that box.
Oh yeah,
it just is.
Just keep it closed. Don't open it.
How you just graded a box?
Yeah.
Excuse me. You just graded a box because the assumption you made about the condition of what's inside of it is guaranteed to be 100% wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's exactly the deal with toys. If
now.
it's sitting in a sealed box, that's all you're doing is grading the box.
Just grading the box.
How do you know? Because I'm going to tell you, I bought toys back in the 80s and got them home and opened them up. And guess what? There was pieces missing. And I had to take them back to the store and exchange them.
Mm-hmm.
There could be Defiant there. There could be, you could have a graded USS flag, and then one day you decide to bust it open. Guess what? That fantail, the handrails, was never in there to begin with.
Right.
It got left out at the factory back in 1985. I mean, to me, it's pointless to grade because all you're doing is grading the box. Because you have no idea what's inside.
That's the point. You look at how the superstructure on the flags warp over. They have warped over the last almost 40 years, right? The most valuable flags are out of the box and don't have warped floors or the top cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't tell me that flag is $40,000 because it's warped. It's almost guaranteed, about 60% of them are warped. Just like John said, you're grading the box. It's not an accurate representation of value. It's just not. Not with toys, anyways. Comics are comics, right? You can see what that is.
And you can open it up and see if there's anything missing on it, if page is missing, whatever.
Right.
But there were two guys talking years ago about this, and one of them was a toy collector, and he said, "Look, I got this USS flag in the box." He said it's still sealed up. It could be in perfect condition in the box, or it could be missing pieces, or it could be broken in the box.
Right.
He said nobody knows. And about that time, that guy's cat jumped up on the box, and he said, "Well, that could apply to a cat if you put it in the box too." And so that guy that he was talking to, his name was Schroeder, and he said, if my cat was in the box, he could either be dead or alive, but I wouldn't know until I opened the box. So all that Schroeder's cat actually come from a graded flag. Most people don't know that.
Sense now.
Most people don't know that. See.
Yeah, because the whole thing was batshit crazy. So excuse my language, it was bat crap crazy. So
I'm pretty sure if you keep the cat, I'm pretty sure if you keep a cat in the box for a couple of weeks, it's probably gonna be dead.
Yeah, I know.
Or even a bag.
Sorry, I'm sorry. The show got dinged. I'm sorry, Shane.
What is it?
Shane, how many more marks do we have?
Not many.
I was going to say, how many more cuss words can Dave spit out before we get?
I mean, last time I checked, they only give you like 7.
Well, we're probably at about 6.5, and there's 10 minutes left, so I'll see if I can just ring it out. How's that?
I also have a question for Adam in the comments. Could you make like a really good diorama for this Godzilla?
Yes, he could.
Of course he could.
That's not the question. How do you expect to pay for it is the question.
I never said to make it. I just said if he could.
Yeah, of course he could. What'd you get, Shane? Did you get it? What'd you get?
I think that's
Well, I want him to answer.
a few things autographed by Mr. Hama. Like I said, we have great conversations when we're with him and everything. But I got this 02 Snake Eyes autographed by him. You can't see it. It's right here.
Nice.
I should have had him get autograph it in red, but we're talking about grading comics. I did find that now you can buy pretty much the same stuff they grade comics with, to protect your comics in.
Oh,
I want
nice.
to get him to sign both of these because this is the 301 issue.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, they're giving him these issues now to finish out. And I just wanted to get that one autographed. And I want to get this one. This is the reprint of the first issue that they just released here, Skybound.
Yep.
I want to get it because I didn't ever get the other one at all. So I want to get it one day, maybe get it autographed. I got this print autographed by him. And it also has Tim Shooter's autograph on it.
Yep.
And if y'all know that both of them are artists for the G.I. Joe. Got Deegan to autograph this Scarlet cover of the Scarlet #1. To me, this is the best cover I saw.
Oh yeah.
He had a print, but somebody got it.
I don't know. I heard a story about that guy.
But this is, to me, this is the best cover of that whole Scarlet. This is one of the prints from #1. It's beautiful, much better than the one everybody else is getting. This one was awesome, and that was pretty much it. But I didn't really want to bother Mr. Hama too much, so
he was right out straight. He was very busy.
Oh yeah, of course we knew he would be.
Yeah,
but that was all I got, And of course, I'm not going to hold it anymore. I did pick up this Mythic Legion.
There you go.
and tried to get John to claim it, and he threw me under the bus not once, but twice. And
hey, they called me. I didn't know what was going on.
I will say that my good buddy John, he gifted this one to me.
Nice.
I almost bought this the other day, and I just backed off of it a little bit, and then he gave it to me for some reasons between us, and it's great to have good friends.
Yep.
To me, this is what our community is about.
Yep.
Having good friends in the community.
I agree.
Sharing, helping each other find things, stuff like that, But being there for each other is the big thing.
Yep.
For me.
Yeah, sure.
We've become brothers, over the last couple of years, and a lot of the guys in the group's the same way, and we love it. I love it. I can depend on these guys here more than a lot of people I really actually know for a long time, and that's the community that I like to see. Where we can help each other.
Yep.
Do things for each other like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I mean, this weekend was
my creation. It's a masterpiece.
Good night, Emmeett.
Yeah, right.
Didn't we tell him good night about 2 hours ago?
Yeah, Moosezilla. There you go.
Hey, Adam said, John, he wants to be better friends.
Nice.
Sure, we can do that. If you feel like gifting me one of those nice dioramas, I won't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. And the second shot is fired. There you go, buddy.
Nancy could use a stage for her Muppet Band.
Let's see.
He did say if I could find one of them stages, he would customize it for Nancy for her Muppets.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
We just got to find one. I've seen them for the last 2-3 years. I've seen them things at Walmart and everywhere. And now that I'm actually looking for one, you can't find them nowhere.
Yeah, they are gone too. They are all gone.
They are.
Well, if you tell me what it is, I'll find one.
It's the Funko stages. They did U2, they did ACDC, they did a bunch of them. So.
Yes, YouTube.
I saw one at the
Run
Walmart
DMC.
we had today.
Today?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it was like an ACDC pack. I'll give you the stage if you let me keep the pops.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't care nothing about the pops anyway. We just need stage.
I don't, whatever. So, Deacon did a variant cover for the new Turtles #1 for IDW, which is a very, really cool cover. Got him to
Man,
sign that.
Raphael's a lot bigger than all the rest of them.
Raph is much bigger than the turtles are quite a bit different than they used to be. Raph is much larger.
This figure kind of shows it. He's
Yeah.
big boy.
This is the new Turtles. That's from Last Ronin Revolution. Odin and Moja and Yi and Uno. This was a variant cover too, which is very, very cool. I'll just show that real quick because I know it's a sore spot with one of the guys here. But no,
John was like that.
No, it really wasn't his fault. I just happened to beat Shane there, and he didn't even. He had to run out to his car and get this one because this one was in a frame in his car. He had sold out of these. So, this is Scarlet. This is classic Scarlet. It's just awesome.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's an awesome piece. Like I said, it was really cool to see. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but it was cool to see a Joe character really featured. That's not Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. And he is very excited to come on to the show here right off, actually. So we can do a quick interview with him. It'll be interesting to
do an interview with Children.
It'll be interesting to talk to a guy that's not an inker or a letterer or a colorer or a writer. He's a cover artist.
Yeah.
Which will be, that'll be different because it's like I was talking to him. I think these guys have always been so underrated because let's face it, covers have sold some of the absolute worst comics ever made, right? This is the first impression to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now it gets them to buy them once. They may never buy it again because of the content of what's inside, but the cover artist doesn't have that problem, right? They have to sell it in one image. They have to sell an entire book and not have any control over what's on the inside of it. I got to tell you, man, there's been some bad books that have broken cover artists because they've been tied to stuff that just wasn't very good. So,
and they've also been some bad covers that stop people from reading books.
Yeah, that is a fact. So it'd be interesting to talk to him. Super nice guy. He's a young guy. Super nice guy.
And he's right in Atlanta, Georgia.
So that'd be good.
He lives right in Atlanta, Georgia, too.
Yeah. I have to tell you, it's very cool now because it used to be that comic book artists were in New York and New Jersey because that's where the publishers were. If you were going to work in that industry, you had to live in one or the other, or Connecticut. Now they're spread out all over the place because everything's done, electronically. So that's very cool.
Chewy.
Yep, Chewy. My Chewy. Childhood Chewy. So 8:58. Anything else you guys want to talk about in the last 2 minutes? Or?
I know what you're gonna say, Shane.
There we go.
Don't say it. Wait, take a screenshot of that.
I don't need to.
I need to send that to Auntie.
No.
So Cal and Rory have it.
Hey, you don't take screenshots on the laptop.
Fine. Wait, Shane, give me a minute. I need to write it down.
It's 2 weeks from this weekend. Not next weekend, but the next.
Just take a picture of it and send it to Auntie, okay?
See, Emmeett doesn't remember when I used to drink heavily.
He never did.
But he's about to start developing some new memories of it because I'm telling you right now, this kid's going to drive me to drink. Look, watch this. Oh, yay. Okay, that's enough. Leave me alone.
Give it. You never drank heavily. You smoked.
No, that was long. That was before you too. But
we're going to try to get
that.
We're going to try to get Jonathan on to talk more about the Farleycon. Maybe hopefully next Sunday night and get him on. So,
Yep, that'd be awesome.
I'll send him a message, so maybe we can get him to get on here with us.
Yep,
or sit down and talk about it. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. He done like we said every week. He's done a really good job putting it together in such a short period of time. And for you Alabama basketball fans, I know Mark Sears is going to be there signing autographs. And one of the companies that verifies autographs is going to be there giving you COAs for it.
Oh, cool. Please stop.
Give you Alabama basketball fans out there.
Yep.
Very cool.
There's
No, he's done a fantastic job. I kind of looked into it briefly, trying to get something going, and I have to tell you, that was not going to be an easy thing to pull off. I'm very, very genuinely impressed at how quickly he was able to pull this together, and it looks like, you know, as far as vendor space and stuff goes, it was very successful. So
he got like 40 vendors, John. Is that what he said?
Yeah, somewhere around 40. They sold out of vendors.
Yeah.
And I know he said they were going to try to get the bigger room next year. And like I said, I think there's going to be a few wrestlers there too, and you know, some other stuff. He's going to try to get more guests next year, and so you know, maybe this.
Yeah, and our buddy Adam's going to be there too.
what Batmobile do you want? You want the Tumbler? Is that what you're after?
I think he's done got a tumbler. I think he's wanting the new one to come out.
Maybe he can get since he's in Atlanta. Maybe he could get Deegan to come to the one next year.
Maybe.
I'll start saving now.
I got to tell you, you got to admit, guys, it was pretty strange yesterday to see Jimmy Hart just kind of wandering around.
Yeah.
You know, just he's in and out of the bathroom every 10 minutes, and it was actually pretty comical. He's just wandering around. Very funny.
It was funny. He walked by you and shake your hand. Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah, it was very weird seeing him just wandering around.
Shane, I'm gonna say it before you. Good night, Emmeett. And
good night, Emmeett.
Good night, Emmeett.
Hope to see you all next Sunday.
You know, he did look older, but he still looked like he used to. I mean, he didn't look that much older.
Yep, he did. Yeah. Most of that hair is fake, and that bottle tan is definitely fake. But but yeah, no, he looked exactly the same.
Yeah,
very funny. PulseCon, next month
in September.
And I guess lastly, right, guys, because of the time, we do not have any confirmation as of right now if those Once a Man Cobra Commanders are actually going up on Pulse tomorrow. We've heard nothing. So check your notifications just in case that rumor turns out to be true, because they're probably going to go, hey, by the way, in 27 minutes, they're up on Pulse or some foolish thing.
They'll probably send the email out.
I read a thing today where they were talking about 7 p.m., which would be 6 for us, I believe.
Okay.
It's what they were saying.
Okay.
Not sure on that, but
they'll send out an email at 7 p.m. maybe.
No, I said it was going to go live at 7, but who knows?
Really?
Rumors are rumors until you get confirmation.
Yeah, that sounds odd. They've never done one that early before.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's see.
That was late. It's going to be 7 p.m. Not a.m., 7 p.m.
Oh, p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So whatever, let me do this too. Whatever your proclivity is, if you are a person of faith, pray. If you are a person of good feelings or whatever, then shoot your vibes, whatever. But Rick, our old buddy Rick, is having a procedure tomorrow. So like I said, whatever your proclivity is, my particular proclivity is to pray. So, just do what you do for Rick tomorrow. How's that? Makes sense? So, and with that, gentlemen, thanks for a good show.
101%, by the way.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it just squeaked by. Piece of garbage just squeaked by.
The patches are locked in. That's the main thing. As long as we get the patches, we good.
It's the only thing that sold it. Yeah, it's me.
But that meant for the patches, it never would have got a first
piece of trash.
First backer, yeah.
Thing's garbage.
It's just crap.
It's just trash. Absolute trash.
I mean, because when they first showed it, I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm thinking, man, nothing make it any better if they put some patches in there. And by the way, the next thing they said, Tier 1 patches. There you go. You just sold it right there.
Apparently, Hasbro is listening to your phone, not just Google, because
quick too,
Yeah, so there you go. Well, I'm really going to end up. What is little of left of my wind is going to disappear soon. So let's get out of here before I
Good
start.
night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.